Less audience means better part, if we say in Finland. So it's very nice to see so many people here still in the last presentation today. I have sit here 3 days now, and I can conclude that I'm very happy what I have heard so far during this conference, and they will also help us in the future to develop better systems in Finland.
Good. That's good news.
So, what I'm going to say is, I talk a little bit briefly about Finland, where I come from, Emergency Service College, some background of the operative environment in Finland, because it is a bit different than most of other countries. Then one slide of this Monica project, and then we start to develop the new ecosystem around this multi-channel routing service. Some slides about services which we want to use in our field operations, and then one slide about conclusions. First, I think that this part of the world is very important to show what is Finland. We are located around this Arctic Circle and have 1,200 kilometers Schengen border with Russia, which makes our environment quite interesting in the, let's say, operative manner. 338,000 square kilometers with 5 million population means 17 inhabitants per square kilometer, and is also quite challenging task for us. Rescue services system in Finland contains 22 rescue service regions, which means 635 voluntary fire brigades needed also. We can say that 90% of Finnish geographical area is covered by voluntary-based fire brigades, and only 10% is based by those full-time employees. We can say that there's roughly 20,000 total persons involved in this rescue service system. About my own college, where I'm coming from, we are the only place in Finland providing education for firefighters, sub-officers, and fire officers, BSc level. And this last line is probably very important because we also have this emergency response center dispatcher training, which is a sophisticated program for those people who are taking the calls from 111, making the risk assessment and alerting the response to these accident locations. And we do not have this command and control room model at all in Finland, in generally saying. ESC R&D is in charge of those, and we coordinate all research activities related to emergency and rescue environment in whole Finland. And here are some lines about our activities. Prevention of accidents. Of course, better accidents are those which never happens. We develop also registers and statistics of accident. We call it accident register, in fact, and also some other development activities. Crisis Management Center, located also in the same campus, is in charge of civilian crisis management training and coordination, and we have roughly 160 people sent in, for example, Afghanistan and Kosovo and such a kind of locations. This picture I want to show, this is an advertisement for you because of course this is playground for our students, but we also offer this as a playground for all companies who want to real-like environment test your products and applications. So you are welcome to contact me afterwards if you want to come to visit us.
Looks like a very nice place.
Yeah. It's a lot of different activities you can test and try. Then we go to this main topic of this presentation. Background for this is, of course, this ERC renovation program which started in fact 2010, and it is going to finalize 2016. This program, we are decreasing the amount of ERCs from 15 to 6 ERCs, emergency response centers. And with this new IT system, we are going to change our way to work from single ERCs to this virtual ERC environment, which means that at the same time we go to accident-centric processes, which means that common operational picture for multi-authority situations and accident location is really needed, and this means also that IP data is needed on the field units even more than today. Then I have some picture about rescue service field organization in Finland, which has 4 levels. Let's put everything at the same time visible, because this first 3 levels, starting from those units which consist 1 to 5, 6 persons, firefighters and the leader of the squad, and a platoon which is consists few squads, and company consists 3 to 5 platoons. They are the field units, and they have been commanded by field commanders on field on the accident location. And below this dotted horizontal line, we need field command applications. And also it's important to understand that most of those accidents, we call them daily routines, maybe not so good word for that, but more than 90% of all accidents are for a couple of squads, and maybe daily or weekly each fire brigade has this platoon level accident, and company even less often. When we talk about large-scale accidents, the battalion is established, and this is the first level of the management in Finland, which has this, we call it command and control center. Probably we develop, and which is not populated every 24/7 basis, but let's say that when major accident happens, we have to establish a higher level of management. But this dotted line and arrow upwards means that we only want to have a common operational picture from the field. They are not controlling over field actions and operations at all. This is very important to understand when we talk about Finnish model. Also, other authorities in Finland, police is, I cannot say that they are quite similar, but they have also this field commander system as we have, and also healthcare, who is the responsible of the first response, they have similar approach. We have done some research work, and this research work, in fact 3 parallel research were done in 2010, and we all find out that Virve or Tetra Release 1 is really not enough. Even with TETS upgrade, we need some more higher capacity and higher speed data services on the field to support our field commander. In the first presentation on Tuesday, somebody says that Tetra Release 3 is dead. I asked this from...
No, it's definitely not. No.
Yeah, I asked this from specialists, and they say that it's wrong information. Tetra Release 3 is still under development. We don't know if we get harmonized frequencies for that, and what kind of radio technology there will be. Probably LTE, it's ongoing process.
That's the whole new group is developing that. TEDS is released.
That's why I want to say to you that Tetra Release 3 comes some other way. We hope so.
Yeah, we're crossing everything for that. Yeah.
So, in addition to that, we need some complementary technologies to support our field operations. And we have those choices including 3G, 4G, wireless LAN and also satellite communication must be taken into account. And we have also in Finland, as a black horse, this at 450 MHz network, which has been based on our old NMT 450 network, but we don't really know. There's a black shadows over this whole network, but we hope that in one or other day we get, for example, LTE 450 MHz version up and running on that frequency band. Still, there is a strong demand for dedicated broadband capacity for authorities, but does not exist in near future, and so we need some other carriers. This is very important to understand. One commercial supplier cannot provide reliable availability in all our situations, so we need something more. This is a simple picture. When I say to my colleagues that, okay, if we just want to buy multi-channel router, it's very simple way. Go to the shop and buy one. But if we want to create a service based on multi-channel routing, we have a lot of stakeholders. Those bolded ones belong to our project, and the most important partner is Finnish state security network Erillisverkot, who is going to establish this service, we hope so. So, this picture probably you have seen 1 year ago. We had as a result of our study, we find out those interfaces which are dotted lines are wireless interfaces and fixed lines are fixed interfaces, of course. And above that, we built out our new project, which is this multi-channel routing. Monika comes in Finnish words of that acronym. We want to bring to our field units the same services they have on their office, on their operative work. This is the architecture picture of that service we are planning now, and this blue color area is as a production network of Finnish emergency services. All 22 emergency service areas or fire brigades, they are inside the same firewalls when we talk about services we are using in this fixed PEIP network. And also our goal is to use that also in our emergency vehicles, which are here behind this multi-channel routing environment. But the key issue here is that we want to offer those field commanders and people working on the field just the same feeling and same services they are using on their office computers, generally saying. So we started to develop the new ecosystem. First, of course, demand for secure mobile broadband is there because of development of new operative systems. TOTI is this new ERC system. This is project name for that system. Kejo comes from Finnish words, which means new field management field command system, which is same for all authorities in Finland. Police forces, Coast Guard, and emergency service and ambulance services, everybody use the same system in the future. It's very big advance if we compare to existing environment. And of course, providers of critical infrastructure, including machine-to-machine traffic, they want to use also this kind of more secure multi-channel communication, wireless broadband data, including intelligent energy networks, water supply, radiation safety center, meteorological institute, and so on. There are a lot of players in Finland who are also interested about this kind of service we are talking now. Also, intelligent wireless communication systems improve the efficiency. We talk about mobile awareness and intelligence of applications. I think that that is the most important thing, and has been come many times during these 3 days, that of course when we talk about critical communication, we have to take into account which kind of radio link we are using at this certain moment. So application should not offer features which are not available with certain data rates. Also important, this last line here, dotted red box, one supplier for all services. Voice, I'm now talking about services for authorities from one door. Voice and data, MVNO basis is a very important approach or goal for us also in this project. End-to-end IP management allows control of the traffic between applications and user equipment on the field. This is the most crucial issue, is that when we change the radio bearer during our operative work, we should not cut the service. That's why the end-to-end IP management is the most important individual feature in this new service. Virtual operation of the commercial radio network platforms, MVNO basis with selected radio networks, makes us possible to compete between operators time to time to keep the price level for taxpayers in a good level. Management of the multi-channel radio, there's a wrong sequence of sentences or letters, but anyway. This service environment consists, of course, MCR equipment on the vehicles, installation of those also to emergency vehicles, maintenance 24/7 basis by remote monitoring on the equipment level, and of course strong authentication and encryption of this service. And last but not least, all authorities use the same MRC service. We got benefits, low cost per user, of course, and same platform for common services is also easy to establish. Yeah. Then about services. Of course, when we start to talk about services with our customers, they had this Santa Claus wish list. But we have to make classification and prioritization of those services, because definitely we cannot use all of those in our vehicles, even we wanted to do that. Yeah. Next question is, which services are mission critical services? This is our existing field command system, which is used very widely by police forces, emergency services, and some of those ambulance services are also using this first generation system. This is a common operational picture for emergency service only. This is a combination of all those systems, and there are also in the bottom left, in the bottom left corner we have a picture of, this is E-beam in fact. We can share our common operational picture with E-beam, and in the right hand side here we can see it's probably Google Map or something like that. So my question is that what is mission critical? It depends on the situation, accident. For example, if we talk about, okay, here we have some commercial off-the-shelf solutions. SmartBoard technology, E-beam, and Cisco WebEx are commonly used in Finland. Just to share the common operational picture. On the next slide. What is mission critical? It depends. This is an example of a remote camera system installed on the fire truck, fire engine. And there's also an example of camera on the dashboard of the same truck. If our field commander is 100 kilometers away from this accident scene, it's mission critical to get the live video from the accident location to make right decisions. Do you agree with me? I think yes. And conclusions. I have 3 seconds left, but
Well, now you have none.
there is always demand for secure and reliable mobile broadband services. And be sure that all capacity what we get from to the field will be used on the field. One supplier for all services, voice and data and MVNO is very important for us to make it easy to make and create and use this new service. Multi-channel routing service will be served by fixed price for all user organization. Of course, different service levels mean different prices, and one contact and one point of contact is one contract and one point of contact is also important issue for us. And same architecture for all kind of users, from machine to machine, vehicle to people, is also our target in this project. And continuous development of the services, new radio networks, new frequency bands, new equipment is also important issue, because you have to understand that those users are not owning the equipment. So when equipment will be old-fashioned, we just swap to new one after the contract period, and that's all. And last but not least, this will be cost efficient.
Yeah, that's always the most important thing.
Yeah. I want to show this picture. This happens a couple of years ago in the one highway close to Helsinki, and this guy here, he's field commander, making common operational picture on the roof of fire engine. So we have to always remember that the field management is the most efficient way.
And it's probably the same temperature there with a minus before it, probably, I think.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay,
I'm
Kari,
sorry,
thank you.
1 minute more.
That's fine. I'd run out of lollipops anyway, so
I can live with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kari.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank